Allison. I'm the Programs Outreach and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. And today for Self-Care Sunday, we are going to do an art project. So we are going to be making Kandinsky trees. And this came about, this idea came about because our homework center coordinators have been working very hard during this shelter in place to come up with great activities that they can do with kids, either when we finally get to go back to our branches or something that could be done in a grab and go format for people to take home. During one of the meetings where we were going over some of the ideas that our homework center coordinators had come up with, one of the coordinators mentioned this art project idea, and I really loved it. The idea got thrown around that possibly we would do it as a Maker Monday video for a virtual program. And then I thought to myself, art projects are a very fun way to spend a self-care Sunday. And after doing the vision boards a few weeks ago, that was so relaxing for me that I wanted to lead us through another creative art project type Self-Care Sunday event. So that's why we're gonna do this today. Kandinsky was a Russian painter who is credited as being one of the pioneers of the abstract movement. And you've probably seen these Kandinsky trees. They're, a tree base with very colorful circles as the top part of the tree and different layers of color. So you'll have maybe like a yellow circle with a orange circle, or colors on colors on colors to make this very cool, abstract, colorful design. So that's what we're gonna do today. Because it's an abstract project and just because this is supposed to be fun, you can use whatever you want to make the leaves of your tree. For my supplies today, I have a glue stick, so you can use whatever adhesive you have, tape, liquid glue, whatever works for you. Scissors to cut out all the different shapes. I have a paper bag that I'm going to cut up to make my tree trunk. And then I also have scrapbooking paper that I used during the vision board video. So I have this that I'm going to use to make the leaves or the top of my tree, the different circles. I'm also going to use one of these pages as the base that I'm adhering all of the components onto. However, my first thought before I realized I could do that and it would stand out more was that I was going to cut up a different paper bag to use that. For the vision board workshop, I had a very square piece of cardboard readily available, so you could cut up a box, or if you have other cardboard, you could use that. I liked that for the vision board because it made it very sturdy and solid, so I still have that. I keep pointing behind me because it's on my mantle right behind me, but because it's so sturdy, it stands up like a picture without me having to use any other sort of adhesive. So I really like the hard cardboard, but I don't have any more today, so I'm just gonna use a piece of paper. I also have, this is all abstract and it's just supposed to be fun, so there's no hard and fast rules, but if you wanted to make your leaf circles more round, you would need something that you could use to trace a perfectly round circle. So I grabbed 3 different round things. I just have the top of a candle, so the candle cover, a glass, which is small, a little smaller than that, so so that they could layer on top, and then another small candle that would make a smaller circle. You can also just freehand it. You can make them whatever shape you want to make. It's all about having fun, relaxing, and it's abstract stuff anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So to get started, we are going to take our paper bag and you will draw your tree trunk on that. And it, like I've been saying, it's all about relaxing and having a good time, so don't worry what your tree trunk looks like. It's just supposed to be a fun and artistic, creative outlet. So have fun with it. So I'm gonna get started drawing my tree trunk. So along with drawing your tree trunk, you'll also want to make sure you draw the branches. So here's mine. You can kind of see it. It's a little hard to see. So I also went ahead and cut the bag out so that I was only dealing with part of the bag. So now that you have your tree drawn, you're just going to go ahead and cut that out. Your branches don't have to look like branches. For the most part, they're gonna get covered up by the circular leaves that you're gonna be putting up there. So mine kind of ended up looking like a wonky hand, and I actually drew one on the back of this bag that I didn't end up liking, so I went ahead and drew a new one on the other side. I thought the branches were too fat. And you know, if you don't have scrapbooking paper at home, which it's a good chance a lot of you won't, you can use any type of paper. You could use other paper bags. You know, paper bags have designs on them a lot of the time. The store's logo, some sort of visual, that would be cool to add in. You could use newspaper, you could use magazines. The more that you use a medium that has a lot of print on it, the more abstract and probably cool looking your tree is gonna be. So that could be really fun. So here I have my trunk and my branches. So next we're going to adhere that to whatever you are using as the background of your tree or of your picture. And I hadn't actually picked mine out. I think I'm gonna use this blue paper as my background. So you'll go ahead and glue that on. The other thing is, if you want to add grass or any sort of base for your tree to be sitting on to kind of ground it in the picture, you can put that on first or you can put it on afterwards. I haven't put any on. I'll probably regret that later, but you can always add it on later. So here I have my tree on my paper. So next we are going to pick out the different papers that we want to use to make our leaves. So I'm going to take a second to figure out which ones I want to use, and then I will show you. So as I was going through my scrapbook paper, I realized I had a lot of scraps in the folders, and I wanted to use those so that I could use those up. So I've picked out some different colors and various shapes and sizes. Along with the solid colors, I also had this coffee mug one that I cut out a coffee cup for my vision board, so I'm going to use that, and this light bulb one that I had also cut out a portion for my vision board. So all about recycling and using up our scraps. So I'm going to use all of these to make my circles and my leaves. So the next step is you are either going to freehand or use some of your guides to draw the circles. It's going to be based a little bit on the number of branches that you have, and then you'll want to also lay them out as you're going to make sure that you have space for all of them. And then once you have the circles all cut out and laid out, you'll just slowly start to glue the layers. So of course you'll have the biggest circle at the bottom, you'll glue that first, then the medium circle on top, and then the smallest one on top of that. And you can do as many layers as you want. It's all up to you. I'm gonna do 3, and then you'll just glue them around, and at the end you'll have a very cool tree. So I'm gonna get started. Okay, so I have finished gluing all my pieces together, and ta-da! Here's my finished tree. So as I was gluing my circles on, I realized I really did want something on the bottom to ground my tree in the picture. So I cut out a little bit of this kind of sea foamy green color to make some grass. And then for my inner circles, my smallest circles, I did some paper that had some images on it because I thought that looked cool. I also realized that the circle guide that I had for my biggest circle was too large, so I ended up just using my medium and my small circle guides, and then I pre-handed the circles for the inside. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty well, and I like the fact that it was mostly scraps that I had around the house. So I hope that this inspires you to get your creative juices flowing and do something artistic today or this week or whenever you want. And I hope that you find it relaxing and calming and have a great time. So I'll see you all in the future for another Self-Care Sunday, and I hope that you have a great week. Bye, everybody.